It was the school's Halloween costume contest. Everybody's in full costume. Teachers, judges, the whole gym is packed. Students are making their walks across the stage and the judges are judging. Though one kid gets up and he's wearing a basic Walmart hot dog costume. But for some reason, the entire school went nuts when they saw it. Yes! Yes! Yeah! They started chanting, "Hot dog kid! Hot dog kid!" And he ends up winning the costume contest. Well, the next year, same contest, the crowd's a little bigger this time, and students are making their way across the stage and the judges are judging. Well, the hot dog kid from the year before shows up dressed as a penguin. Big puffy suit, he's making his way, and now it's his turn to stand in the middle of the gym stage. Crickets. The entire gym is quiet. Then he smiles, takes his hand, rips off the penguin costume, and underneath, he's wearing the same hot dog costume from last year. The gym erupts. He's doing it again! He did it again! Hot dog kid is back! Everyone's going crazy. They're chanting hot dog kid over and over and over again. Guess what? He wins again. He walked off that stage a legend for the second year in a row. And then he graduated. But nobody ever forgot Hot Dog Kid. I'll tell you that much. This kid ran a movie theater out of his garage. And yeah, he made money. This happened last summer. This one kid in the neighborhood, let's call him Johnny. Not a really popular kid, but, people didn't mind him. He had a brilliant idea. He set up a projector in his garage. He had a popcorn machine in there, and he lines up actual chairs with cushions on them. Rows, A through D. He charges $3 for admission and $2 extra if they wanted popcorn. And business was immediately booming. Every night, new movie. One night, it's Kung Fu Panda 2. The next night, Jaws. Friday night, playing Ratatouille. He does double features on weekends. By mid-July, the whole block's pulling up. Parents are sending kids with snacks to share with everybody. Some dude's dad is grilling out hot dogs in the driveway. It's a whole thing. It becomes this amazing, beautiful frickin' movie theater on someone's cul-de-sac. But it did go sideways for a second. One night, the theater was showing The Meg. Big shark movie. I've never seen it. But some kid brought his little brother, and this movie caused this kid's little brother to absolutely freak the heck out. Crying, he's horrified. This kid's parents shows up and they're super mad. That night the movie had to be shut down. Yeah, I'm not sure if your kid is qualified to run something like this. Yeah, well, your son's a little baby. Excuse me? Well, this is better than the movie. Enough! Johnny's mom was finally like, you know what, that's it, no more shark movies, keep it all PG. And for the next few films he did. But then he went back to playing the variety of movies that he really enjoyed. And it was fine. He ran this theater for 42 nights straight. And by the end of summer, he made $300. Man, that sounds like the perfect frickin' business. And you know what? You gotta respect the hustle. This kid gets caught cheating on purpose. This happened last spring. There's this math teacher, right? She's super strict, but only to certain kids. Late homework, 0%. Wrong format, 0%. But if your parents were rich, if you were on varsity, if she just liked you, you were fine. And everybody knew it, but nobody could prove it. But then there's Noah. He was the top of his class. He literally had a spreadsheet to track his GPA. One day he wanted to prove that this teacher was a little biased. So during a quiz, he leans way over his desk and stares at the person next to his quiz, like clearly cheating. Guys, teacher looks up, sees him doing this, but nothing. Completely ignores it. The next week, there's another quiz. Now Noah's friend Kyle, the teacher didn't like that much, so this was the other half of their plan. During that quiz, Kyle begins cheating off of somebody else, and he doesn't get very far. Office now. Not even 2 seconds into Kyle cheating, the teacher sees this and calls him out immediately. Kyle gets 2 days of in-school suspension. Noah, nothing. So their theory was proven. A few days after that, they go to the principal together and they explain to the principal the situation that's going on. And believe it or not, thank you for sharing this. I believe you guys. Yes, I'll have a talk with her. I promise. The teacher was out for a few days, but when she came back, she was a whole lot more fair. I bet that principal really gave her a talking to. He was in the back of the classroom, during a boring lecture, scrolling through his crush's Instagram page. I mean, pretty risky thing to do with a crush in the class, but that's what he was doing. Well, he's years deep into her Instagram page. As he's scrolling, his thumb grazes the heart. No. He panics and he accidentally goes back. So now he's got to scroll all the way down to find this picture that he accidentally liked from 5 years ago. His brain short circuits, the school's Wi-Fi is so bad it's kind of lagging. Older posts aren't loading. No. He looks over at his crush and he sees that her notification went off and she's reaching for her phone. No. Meanwhile, during all this, his phone was at 1%, and it died. His face goes completely white. The guy next to him asks him, "Hey bro, you okay?" No, he wasn't okay. She looks at her phone. So he just gets up quickly and walks out of the room. Gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. As he walks out, he looks behind and she's looking at him. So now his crush saw that he liked a photo from years ago during class. And now he's running out of the room. He probably looks insane. But his crush saw it, so he goes to the bathroom and he sits in the stall until the bell rings. He said he was so embarrassed he didn't go to school the next day. And when he did return, yeah, he got bullied. So it's the middle of summer. No breeze, just that sticky sidewalk melting heat. And then the ice cream truck song. Every kid in the neighborhood stops when they hear it. Oh my god, it's here, guys, it's here! Yes! But it wasn't the ice cream truck. It was just Tyler, 11 years old, Bluetooth speaker in one hand and a cooler on wheels in the other. He's playing the ice cream jingle off a YouTube video. It just started walking the block. Well, kids come running out with cash. Wait, are you selling? Yeah, I've got the stuff in my cooler. The prices are on the lid. He flips open the cooler. He's got everything. SpongeBob pops, those bomb pops, the strawberry shortcake ones, all perfectly frozen, bought in bulk from Costco. This kid is killing it. And the thing is, he would undercut the prices of the actual ice cream truck by $1, so his stuff was cheaper. By week 2, people were texting him to have them come by their house or their birthday party. It was a full-blown business. The real ice cream truck, out of respect, stopped showing up to this neighborhood altogether. This kid turned a Bluetooth speaker and a cooler full of ice cream into a full-blown empire, and that summer he made over $500. You gotta respect the hustle. It's summer camp. Midnight. Most of the cabins are asleep when this kid wakes up to a sound. Hey, did you hear that? The sound is crying somewhere in the woods. It's not a normal cry either, like full-on sobbing, muttering. Is that an animal? Dude, I think it's a person. Well, these two campers sneak out with their flashlights and start searching through the trees. Hello? Anybody out here? Hello, we hear the crying. They find her, a camp counselor sitting on a rock, barefoot, crying. He said he loved me. But then he kissed Jenna on the dock like I don't exist. They're campers and she's a counselor. This is not their business. Do you want us to get another counselor or something? I can call some... No, I'm fine. Don't tell anybody you saw me. What the heck? Next morning, she's at breakfast and she's acting normal, like she wasn't just crying into a pine tree 8 hours before this. But that rock that she was sitting on, they called that rock Breakup Rock for years after that. This has to be the weirdest sleepover ever. Everything was chill until about 6 p.m. Sleepover's been going smooth, pizza, Mario Kart, chillin'. Then suddenly his friend goes, "Oh, my stomach hurts." At first, he just shrugs it off. By 7 p.m., it got worse. Down the floor, groaning. His mom's panicking. "Honey, are you okay?" "It hurts so bad. We're going to the ER right now." That's when he says, "Wait, what about me? You stay here with Grandma, sweetie. Bye." What? Door slams, tires screech, they're gone. "Hello there. I'm Grandma." "Hi. Wanna watch Wheel of Fortune?" "Sure." My insides are on fire! We're almost there. Stay with me, sweetie. Stay with me. What you knitting? Well, I'm making you a hat, my dear. Awesome. Somebody help, my son is dying. I have lasagna and cookies for us. It smells amazing. Count backwards from 10, please. 10. 9. Good. Scalpel. Oh dear, I'm tired too. Look at that, it's 8:30 p.m. Past our bedtime. Why don't you head upstairs, go to sleep? I'll head to my room. See you in the morning, dear. Sweet dreams, Grandma. And that's how a kid had the best night of his life with his friend's grandma while his friend was in the hospital having surgery because his appendix burst. Who could have saw that coming? So where's my daughter? Yeah, well, we got good news and bad news. This happened the second day of kindergarten. Ella is 5 years old. It's her second day ever riding the bus. The bus route ends at the daycare, and that's where her mom picks her up after work. But on this particular day, the bus pulls up. The kids get off, except for Ella. The daycare staff looks around. Wait a minute, where's Ella? They call her mom. Hi, did you keep Ella home from school today? Because she's not here. What? No, she was in the bus this morning. The mom calls the school. Where is my daughter? She didn't get off her bus today. I have no idea. They had no idea. They panic. The mom panics. 15 minutes later, the school calls the mom back. Hi, yeah, so, we know where she is. We know where she is. She had fallen asleep on the bus. The bus driver never checked the seats. They drove the bus back to the bus depot and locked the bus inside of the garage and left. Ella wakes up alone. On a dark, silent bus, and she's absolutely horrified, as you can imagine. There's no lights, there's no voices. She starts screaming. Finally, the mechanic hears her and runs over. She's in tears, she's shaking, she's hugging her backpack. The school apologized, the bus driver got fired, and that girl never took a nap on a bus ever again. This kid started a war at the zoo. 5th grade field trip to the zoo. Everyone's hyped. The teacher's already stressed. They get to the primate exhibit. The absolute best exhibit in any freaking zoo. Alright class, hands to yourselves please. Let's respect the facility and the gorillas, okay? There's this one kid. That kid. He picks up a stick and launches it into the gorilla exhibit. Well, the stick lands on the ground right next to a full-grown silverback gorilla. The gorilla turns, sees the kid, grabs the stick, and throws it back. Smack! The stick explodes across this kid's chin. He drops, screaming, blood's everywhere. Chaos. This class is freaking out. Teachers are screaming, and then the rest of the gorillas show up, all gathered on the other side of the fence right next to this class. They just rolled in like backup, and they're all just smacking the ground. They're all angry. And it's gotta be horrifying for these kids. They're yelling, they're pounding the glass. It's gonna kill me! They're gonna kill me! What is going on? Well, the pounding on the glass alerted the orangutans, who were on just the other side of this exhibit. And they rolled in like backup as well. So now it's like a dozen silverback gorillas, a dozen orangutans, all just pounding the glass in the ground on the other side of this class on a field trip. Dear God. That's when the gorillas and the orangutans start pooping in their hand and chucking the poop at the glass. Back to the buses. Now, the zoo staff swarms in from all sides. They shut this entire thing down. The exhibit is closed for the rest of the day. 30 minutes later, the school's banned from the zoo for life. And the kid who got the stick thrown at him left in an ambulance. He had to get stitches. That is absolutely insane. This class is so messed up for this. It's middle school science, and this teacher is a sweet, older woman. She's soft-spoken, she's always kind, she truly cares about her students. She's one of the good ones. Well, one year, she bought every single one of her students their own pencil case with her own money. She filled them with rulers, pencils, erasers, everything they could possibly need. Class, no need to bring supplies, I got you. Okay? So each of her students has these full pencil cases, and one day she steps out for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's it. Snap, thud, whip. The students start chucking these pencil cases across the room, snapping rulers, breaking pencils, breaking the zippers, and they're all laughing like maniacs. She just walks back in, and she freezes. Wait, what happened? No one answers. She picks up a broken pencil case and holds it in her hands, and she just starts crying in front of everybody. What would you guys do this? Why would you guys do this? Super messed up. Well, the next day she comes into class. She says this. Class, I'm so sorry for getting upset yesterday. That was not good of me. I should have been more composed. I just wanted you guys to have everything you need, okay? Anyway, I brought you all some candy. And then she gave them candy. Dude, they were the ones that should have apologized to her. She was one of the best teachers in that school. And students who were in that class say that this messes them up to this day. Which it should. This is absolutely insane. So Rampart High School was a blue ribbon school. Good grades, solid reputation, but they had barely any money. So the principal has an idea to rent out the gymnasium to make some extra cash. And someone comes up, they want to use it on a Saturday, they say it's just a small event. The guy says, yeah, it's for a church dance, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., 1,000 people max. Well, Saturday night hits, and it's a full-blown rave. Lights, fog machines, thumping bass, it's packed. Over 5,000 people show up. People are drinking, there's a bunch of other crazy stuff going on, and this isn't just a rumor, it was on the news. Here's the article. See, 5,000 people. What is this? The superintendent said this was a major mistake, and that they were manipulated by these guys. The rave went on from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. all frickin' night. The company that threw the rave said that they never lied, and that kids will be kids, but come on, who would do this? After the rave, the gym was completely destroyed, and I mean like destroyed. The floors, the bleachers, everything. The gym could not be used for the rest of the school year. People start calling the school Ravepart instead of Rampart, and whenever a student from the school's choir sings the national anthem at a school event, they always end it with this. and the home of the rave. Home of the rave. I need a new egg. Oh God, you can use mine. It's physics class. This kid named Frank has a presentation, and he needs an egg for some reason. Well, he brings one from home. Just one. Well, before class even starts, he sees a kid in the hallway that he doesn't like, and his genius self decided to throw his only egg at this kid. He makes me so mad. Ew, what the heck? So now class is about to start, and he's just like, oh God, no, I don't have an egg anymore. I'm gonna fail. I need to find an egg. That's when some random kid who was walking by in the hallway stops and says this to him. You can borrow my egg, huh? He laughed, thinking it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. This kid pulls out a real egg, and it has a face drawn on it. This is my son, Leonardo. Be careful with him, please. I'm gonna meet you back here after class. He hands it over like it's a sacred little egg. Frank uses it for his presentation, and he passes. The egg doesn't break. But Frank was so relieved this all went well, when he was getting up to leave the classroom, he accidentally knocked Leonardo on the ground, and Leonardo cracked, broke open. When he met the kid outside the classroom at the end, he just handed him bits of shells and yolk. Hey man, sorry, your egg broke. My bad, but thank you. Oh! Leonardo! My boy! There was this kid in 8th grade, and to be clear, nobody liked him. Why? Well, because he was frickin' mean. He would steal people's food and say, mine, survival of the fittest. He barked at the PE teacher once. And he had this really insane talent of making other people cry. Kid was a certified menace. One day during lunch, he picks up one of those tiny square milk cartons, and he sees someone across the way and says this, hey nerd, catch this. He winds up, he launches the milk carton, and he misses. The milk carton missed the kid he was trying to throw it at, but it hit the security guard in the chest. Oh, you, come here now. And let me say this, the security guard was a huge, buff dude. People respected him because they were terrified of him. No. I'm so sorry. This 8th grader is now starting to panic because he's terrified. I said, come here now. He starts walking over there, slowly, in shame and terror. And just like that, every single student in the cafeteria begins cheering. Justice. Justice is served. Who's the nerd now? Loser. Everyone was just so happy that this kid, who seemed to never get in trouble but was always so horrible to other people, was finally getting the karma he deserved. Yo, this backfired. This happened during a school test. This kid's about to get started, but this girl, his bully, says this to him right before. Hey, loser, I'm gonna cheat off you. This is the same girl that's been bullying him for years. But this time he has a plan. He just says, sure. Well, what this girl didn't know was that this kid got extra time on exams. So on test days, when class ends, most kids leave, but he still has an extra 30 minutes to finish the test. I had this in school as well. So here's what he did. The exam starts, and she's cheating off his test. Answer for answer. Identical. Well, for the first hour of the exam, he's answering everything wrong. Even the short answers. Stuff like, what is inflation? He puts, when a balloon gets bigger. So the second she finishes copying, she stands up, turns her test in, and done. Thanks, idiot. And walks out of the room all cocky, super smug. Well, at this point, everybody else had left, and now he begins his extra test time. He erases his entire test and fills everything back in with the correct answers. Perfect. A week later, they get their test back. He gets 100%. She gets a 0 because he purposely made every question completely wrong. This makes no sense. What's wrong? Oh, 0? That sucks. I got 100. Who's the idiot now? Hey, don't underestimate me. She was so mad, but from that day on, she rarely bullied him anymore. Because obviously this kid was 10 steps ahead. He's a genius for this. This school had a villain. A mayonnaise villain. Every few days, students would be walking up the main staircase when you would hear, ugh, gross. Somebody would scream, hold up their hand, and it would be covered in mayonnaise. The mayonnaise wouldn't be on top of the railing, it would be underneath. It started in the cafeteria stairwell. Then it spread. Math hallway, science wing, became a problem. You'd think that they would install cameras or that they would have cameras in the stairwells, but they didn't. So now everyone's terrified of touching railings because obviously some kid has been taking mayonnaise and smearing it under the railings in every single staircase in the school. And it wasn't like a little bit of mayonnaise. It was a lot. Kids are just walking up the stairs now with their hands to their sides because no one's going to touch that stuff. And nobody knows who's doing this. The janitors are mad. The teachers are furious. The principal makes an announcement. Please, whoever's putting mayonnaise under the railings, stop it! It never stops. There was breaks for a few months, but it never stopped. Until one day, it did, 2 years later. And people assume it's because the mayonnaise bandit graduated. But even still, after that, the legend lives on forever. That's disgusting. This wasn't a field trip. It was a setup. Classroom, 12-year-olds, middle of math. All right, class, put your pencils down. We're going on a field trip. Wait, what? Where are we going? You'll see. Everybody line up. They line up, they walk outside the school, they walk down the road, they go through a fence, and then they see it. A vineyard. Isn't this a winery? I'm 12. Stay close. Are we like gonna study grapes or something? Shh, just stay close. They get to the back of the winery, and they see this man. It was her husband. And right behind him was a woman. Another woman. The teacher turns to the class. Okay, everybody, that man is my husband, and that woman is who he's cheating with. Get a good hard look at the two. Stacy, what are you doing? Oh my god, they're on a field trip. That's cute. Class, you all saw this, right? Okay, you are all my witnesses. And I want things out of the house by the end of the day. What? By the end of the day. The kids then line up again behind her and they walk back to school. That teacher then divorced her husband and she got remarried. And they are still together to this day. And they have a very happy marriage, so that's good. Have your parents ever embarrassed you? Listen to this story. So this family's at the mall. A mom and her 2 kids. They grab 3 lemonades from a pretzel stand, take them to the food court, order some pizza. Normal day at the mall. Sounds lovely to me. Well, the lemonade tastes off. Not like poison, just like a weird lemonade. But the kids? Yeah, they're thirsty. So they drink all of it anyway, but the mom, she doesn't. She takes 1 sip and she's done. This lemonade's disgusting. Why would they serve this? She's just complaining about it the entire time they're eating. So after their meal, she drags both of her kids back to that pretzel stand. Yeah, hi, I want a refund for all 3 of these lemonades. They were absolutely horrible. The cashier goes, hey, listen, I totally get it. Since you didn't drink yours, I'll refund that one, but your kids drank theirs, so I can't refund theirs. I mean, seems reasonable, right? Nope, the mom snaps. Full-blown meltdown. You think this is fair, huh? I want my money back for all 3 lemonades. I can't, lady. I can give you some coupons, but that's it. Doesn't help at all. The mom is still going off, and the kids are begging her to stop. Mama, please stop it. It's so embarrassing. Let's go. Let's go, Mom, please. The mom eventually storms off, and they all get in the car. And the whole ride home, the mom's like, you guys made me look stupid. Why did you drink your lemonade? Now they think I'm some sort of joke. I mean, yeah, they probably do. Because you were acting like a fool in the middle of the mall. That's crazy. He ended the bully with 1 sentence. This happened in 10th grade, one of those chill Fridays. Our assembly ended early, everyone's hanging out in the cafeteria. Then you hear it. Bro, what even is your outfit? It's Dylan. Popular kid, big mouth, always has something to say. Well, he's talking to this kid named Micah. Micah's wearing a hoodie and brown corduroys. It's a chill outfit to me, you know? Where'd you get those pants? Grandma's closet? All of Dylan's cronies laugh. Micah looks up, doesn't flinch, doesn't smile. He just says this. How many days in a row are you gonna wear those sweatpants? Everything stops, even Dylan gets quiet. Like, legit question, 5, 6 days? Somebody behind Micah says, it's been at least a week. Dylan looks down, gray Nike sweatpants. It's true. They're just comfy, man. Oh, got it. Just checking. Dylan walks away and Micah goes back to eating his Cliff Bar. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you gotta wear sweatpants a couple days in a row, but if you're gonna throw shots at somebody else's outfit, you better expect them to throw some shots back. That Monday, Dylan shows up to school in jeans. And he doesn't say another word about anyone's outfit ever again. You either finished in 60 seconds or you failed. This was 8th grade, pop quiz day. But it wasn't just any quiz, it was Mrs. Lowell's quiz. Okay, pencils down at the timer, you have 60 seconds. There are 10 questions. You should be fine if you studied. 10 questions in a minute? Time's a part of the challenge. Welcome to real life, buddy. She sets a timer on her phone. 60, 59, 58. You can feel the panic. Kids are scribbling down trying to finish this 10-question quiz. And the buzzer goes off. Pencils down, I will collect these now. Everyone's groaning like they all knew that they just failed that thing. Next day, grades get handed back. One kid got 20%. One kid got a 50%. One kid got a 10%. Yo, this ain't fair, miss. You only gave us a minute. Yeah, and you should have been ready for the quiz. Just brutal. 2 weeks later, different day, the bell rings for class. There's no sign of Miss Lowell. A minute passes, then 5. The whole class is just sitting there. Well, suddenly, one kid stands up and walks to the classroom door. He locks it. What are you doing? She says 1 minute's enough time to finish those quizzes. We give her 5. Class already started. She's locked out. Shortly after that, she shows up and she tries to open the door. But obviously, it's locked, and she doesn't have her key. Unlock this door immediately. Nobody moves. You are wasting class time. You're a hypocrite, miss. You're late to class. Welcome to real life. You gotta respect the hustle. The worst part of a sleepover was the morning. You're tired, the air smells weird, your friend is always sleeping longer than you are, so you have to deal with their parents. I hated that. Well, this one kid shared a story about a sleepover he went to when he was a kid. They wake up. His friend asks, "So you want to stay for breakfast?" Sure. Honestly, he should have left right then and there. That was a trap. He could have dipped, but instead, he's eating boiled spinach, microwaved eggs, and a glass of milk. The worst combo of all time. Why was this kid's parents making that for breakfast? I don't know. You like it, sweetie? Yeah, yummy. You barely touched your spinach. I'm savoring it. Meanwhile, his friend's little brother, who's staring at him, says, "You eat weird." What? He survives breakfast. Barely. He sticks around for a little bit and then he wants to go home, but by this time it's 3 p.m. They ask him if he wants to play a board game. Guess he doesn't want to make his friend feel bad, so he says yes. But the game was Monopoly. The longest game ever. Who's playing Monopoly? And he's starting to get real antsy. He's got to go. He's texting his mom, "Please come pick me up. It's an emergency." 6 p.m., ding, his mom texts him. Here. He grabs his backpack. "All right, guys, thanks for having me. My mom's out front." And his friend starts shaking. Wait, you're leaving? Yeah, man, it's Sunday night. But I thought we'd hang out all week. Bro, we got school tomorrow. And then his friend starts crying. "But you're my best friend. You're my best friend." I know, man. I know. All right, see you guys. He gets into the car and says to himself, "Never again. This teacher's so mean." This kid was 12 years old and he was trying really hard in art class. The whole week he's working on this fruit bowl sketch. He's carefully shading it, blending colors, he's doing his best. Well, he's getting almost close to being done and he's proud of this. He walks up to the teacher and he says, "Hey, Miss Reynolds, you think I'm doing okay on this?" She takes one look, she smirks, and says this out loud in front of the entire class. "It would be good if a 5-year-old did it." What? You heard me. No one even laughs at this. Even the class clown is sitting there in complete silence, just looking at him. He goes back to his desk, his face is red, and he just rips the painting in half. He didn't turn in another project the rest of the year. Even when he had to, he would just scribble something random on a piece of notebook paper and turn that in. Because why even try when the person who grades you talks to you like that? But she killed his confidence and she made him hate what he used to love doing. And that is no way to be a teacher, so screw that lady. This class was visiting colleges. They were all on a bus to visit one of these local colleges. Well, this junior was sitting by his girlfriend. Now, these two had been dating forever. Everyone knew them as that couple. But halfway through the bus ride, and Kevin, Kevin, we gotta talk. What? She breaks up with him on the bus. "I can't do this anymore. You're an embarrassment to me. I have bigger things I want to do with my life. And you're gonna hold me back. I'm done. We are done." Oof. And he's just taking it. He finally stops talking and he's just sitting there staring out the window. 5 minutes go by, and he quietly stands up, lowers the window gap as far as it'll go, shimmies his way out, and jumps out of the bus while it's moving. The bus is going 35 miles per hour on the highway. Everyone's panicking. "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" "Oh my god, he jumped!" "What happened?" "Well, I broke up with him. He said he didn't want to be on this trip with me, and he jumped out the window. So, not my fault." Now, this kid was fine. When he jumped out, he landed on this big pile of grass on the side of the highway. Just some scrapes and bruises. But when he landed, he stood up and just ran into the woods. Full sprint. Backpack on and everything. They had to call his parents. His parents came to the side of the road where the bus was at. Staff was sent into the woods to go find him, and they found him, sitting by a creek on a log, crying softly to himself. "Hey buddy, you okay?" "I love her so much. Leave me here. Leave me here." Every school has a mystery. This one had a poopatrator. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's what they call them. Someone was sneaking into the bathrooms and smearing, not tagging, not vandalizing, straight up finger painting on the stalls with poop. There's been another Code Brown. I repeat, there's been another Code Brown. That's literally what they call this. It was a real phrase, a real alert. The janitor would sigh, grab his gloves, and head in. One day, a kid opens the stall, and he freezes. It's art. A whole drawing smeared on the stall door. A sun drawn in the corner, a flower in the middle, a barn with a horse outside of it on the left side, all smeared in human feces. Look, dude, why is it actually good? Like, it was actually impressive. Nobody knew who was doing this, but after weeks of chaos, they caught him, brown-handed. They caught him in the act, mid-sketch. Turns out he did this every time he went number 2. He got expelled after that. And for 2 years after that, to try to avoid copycats, they had people monitoring the bathrooms at all times. All because of one poop Picasso. That's crazy. This happened in the school cafeteria. There was a student with a severe peanut allergy. Like the kind where touching residue would send him into complete shock. Everybody knew this, it was serious. But then there was this one kid, the class bully. One day at lunch, he pulls out a Reese's peanut butter cup. You know the ones. He eats it in front of this kid with the allergy, chewing it slowly, on purpose. Hey man, quit messing around, man. Okay, just keep away from me. Then, he licks his finger. Hey. He starts chasing the allergy kid around the cafeteria. Come on, come here. One little touch, man. Stay away from me. He's laughing like it's just some game. And then taps the kid on the arm. Within seconds, this kid's face starts swelling up. Eyes puffed shut, he falls to the ground gasping. The nurse rushes in, she uses the EpiPen, and he gets sent to the ER. He nearly died, pretty much. But the bully? 2-week suspension. That's it? That's it. That was it. The kid with the allergy's parents tried to press charges. There was some kind of settlement. Turns out the bully's parents had a lot of money that they donated to the school. And the school buried this. Karma's gonna get that kid one day, I swear. That's messed up. What's going on back there? Call a priest! This happened in elementary school. There were 2 sisters that lived at the top of a very steep hill. And I mean super steep, winding hill. Them at the top. And every morning, the school bus had to climb all the way to the top just to get them. But one morning, one of the sisters gets on looking pale. She sits in the back, she's quiet, the vibes are not good. Well, halfway down the steep hill, she throws up. Hard, loud, full-forced, right into the aisle. Her sister sees it and immediately throws up as well. A couple of kids nearby start gagging and then they throw up. And most of them are throwing up in the aisle. And remember, this is going downhill. So as they're puking, this river of vomit is just flowing to the front of the bus. And as the river passes each row, those people begin to throw up. Like a chain reaction. Every seat, somebody's adding to the stream. Like it's a contagious situation. Well, the river of vomit reaches the front. That's when the driver, Miss Jeannie, finally notices. She slams on the brake, stands up, turns around and says, "What is going on back here?" Then she sees it and immediately wishes she hadn't. She radios the school. "Oh my god, it smells. We're gonna need all the towels you have and maybe call a priest." When the bus finally pulls up to the school, the principal and the nurse are waiting. Ginny opens the door to the bus and the puke starts to pour out of it. That's how much was in there. Eventually, everybody gets off the bus, but the smell follows them into the school. And I kid you not, kids were throwing up in other classrooms just from the scent. And that day went down in history. What a freaking nightmare. Oh, my AirPods are nasty. I can clean them for a price. This started in 7th grade. Everybody had AirPods, but nobody would clean them. Except this one kid. This kid had a pencil bag full of Q-tips. I made fun of him until one day this girl's looking at her AirPods and she says, "Ugh, there's like gunk in here. It's disgusting." And he goes, "I can clean that $1. She laughs, but he's already pulling out his cleaning kit. Toothpick, soft cloth, Q-tip, disinfectant swab. He's wiping it down like a surgeon. There. Oh my god, they look brand new. I know. Next day during lunch, a line is forming. People are handing over cash. You do pros too? Absolutely. What about these? Bro, these are knockoffs. I'll do them for 50 cents for you. Like I said, he keeps the tools in a pencil case and he has his cleaning services during lunch. He even sprays them with a minty finish. Then the math teacher walks up. Hey boyo, I hear you're the kid that cleans the AirPods. You heard right? Can you do these? Yeah. And Mr. Johnson, for you, these are on the house. By the end of the semester, he had made $180 from this business, which is a little over 180 AirPods cleaned. And he made all this money from cotton swabbing earwax out of AirPods. You gotta respect the hustle. It was supposed to be a regular Easter egg hunt. Colorful eggs, kids running around, but for some reason that year it went completely off the rails. This was some years back. The school threw an Easter egg hunt, and the whole community showed up. Dozens of kids in the field, baskets in their hand. And then there's the parents. Stick with me, sweetie. I know where they put the gold ones. Don't just stand there. Go right there, under the bench. They weren't just cheering them on. They were coaching them. They were controlling the situation. Some parents are diving through bushes. Oh, I see one. Get back. One dad grabs 5 eggs and gives them to his kid. Hey, yo, that was my kid's egg. You saw us going for that. Shut your mouth. Your kid's a loser. Then it pops off. They start throwing themselves across the grass. Dads are squaring up. Yeah. Come on, man. You want some of this? You got it, man. What you got, huh? Oh, It got so bad that by the end, 5 people were injured and one of them had to be airlifted by a helicopter to the nearest hospital. Thankfully, nobody died. But from that year on, the school had a strict rule that the Easter egg hunts were only for the kids. That makes perfect sense to me. This is the craziest bus ride ever. This happened on a 5th grade farm field trip. Middle of nowhere, long bus ride, bumpy roads. Kid in the front goes, "Man, are we almost there? About 10 miles away, class. Hang tight." Then boom, glass explodes. Something smashes through the windshield. Kids are crying. The driver yells, "It's a bird! It's a big bird!" Teacher looks down and it's a full-grown turkey. Dead. Feathers, blood, just laying there on the aisle of the bus. Okay, nobody panic. Nobody touch the turkey. He grabs a binder and she scoots this giant dead turkey towards the back of the bus by the door. She then opens the back door of the bus and kicks this turkey as hard as she can like a soccer ball. Okay, everybody off the bus, line up against this fence. Head count, please. The kids are still shaking. There's feathers in their hair. Because when she kicked the bird, it kind of exploded a bit. Really traumatic. The new bus will be here in 20 minutes, okay? And she's all calm like she's done this before. The trip was canceled, obviously. When the new bus got there, they all got in and they just went back to the school. But the smell of turkey death lingered on them for hours. It started with a rule. The dress code is to promote professionalism. No crop tops, no tank tops, no ripped jeans. Girls' pants can't be above their ankles. Some real crazy dress code stuff. Well, this girl had enough. And she wants to do something about it. So one day, she shows up to school in a full-body horse costume. Yes, I know it's a llama mask, but I don't have a horse mask, so bear with me. Mane, hooves, tail, cover head to toe. And technically, this horse costume followed every single rule. That's not professional. Show me where it says no horses. And they couldn't do anything, because there was no rule in the handbook that said no costumes or no horses. There was no skin showing. Her ankles were covered by the horse costume. Like I said, she knew the handbook better than the teachers and the principal did. But the thing is, the teachers were obsessed with this. One teacher would bring her carrots every morning. "Hey, horse girl, I got a carrot for you." That's hilarious. One teacher said, "You're my hero." Even the lunch lady would start neighing whenever she saw her. She wore this horse costume every single day for 3 straight weeks. But then the school finally added a new rule. No costume wear. This happened in elementary school. A kid gets called out in class. "Tyler, that is not appropriate. Go to the office." Then without a word, he stands up, sprints out of the classroom, and runs straight out the front school doors. And just like that, he's gone. The principal gets called. "Yeah, we got a runner." They can't find him anywhere. 15 minutes later, the school's on full lockdown. People are starting to actually panic at this point. They call the kids' parents. They come. They're furious. They're freaking out. "Where's my son? Where's my son?" Police cars surround the building. A helicopter is hovering above. A freaking helicopter. They start searching the woods behind the school. Hours go by. A SWAT team-looking unit shows up, and they find him a mile away, sitting in a lonely patch of grass, eating a Snickers. "Tyler, what are you doing out here, man?" "I got stressed." And the Snickers, It helps me relax. I feel much better now, by the way. They escort him back. The kid got suspended and his parents had to take him to therapy for a bit. Had to figure out why he would do this in the first place, but still, that day is still known as the Great Tyler Lockdown. That's insane. It was supposed to be a normal lunch period, but 5 minutes later, the principal was on the floor. This happened at high school. Two senior girls lock eyes. You told him I cheated? Yeah, because you did. People are starting to notice what's going down. The cafeteria gets quiet. One of the girls picks up a carton of chocolate milk and dumps it on the other girl's head. And it begins. The hair pulling, the smacking. Get off me. You are so dead. Lunch trays are flying around, people are backing up, the principal comes running in. Hey, break it up! That's when one of the bigger of the seniors just clocks him right in the gonads. He drops, the whole cafeteria gasps, and then she climbs on a table. You want drama? I'll give you drama. No. A full-blown elbow drop. Kids are screaming, some are cheering, most of them are recording, and that was the day of lunchroom beef turned into a full-blown wrestling match. Nobody forgot that day, ever. Especially the principal. His parents were at the sleepover. It's Friday night, sleepover at his buddy Jonah's house. First hour solid. Pizza, soda, Mario Kart, chillin'. But then, hey boys, we have next round, okay? This is gonna be great. It's Jonah's mom and dad. They join him and they play 4 rounds. No, this is kinda weird, man. Oh, it's fine. Later, they go for a bike ride. Let's go, bro. Alright, see mom and dad are heading out. But then, Jonah's mom and dad come out on their own bikes. I'll lead the way. I'll be in the back for safety. What the heck? Biking in formation. Back inside, it's movie time. They're watching The Sandlot. Jonah's mom walks in with a pillow. Ooh, I love this one. Screw. The dad's laying on the floor. They stay for the entire movie and the dad's crying at the end. Now that's a classic. Then it's time for bed. Sleeping bags on the floor, lights off, and then suddenly, zip! Jonah's parents lay out their own sleeping bags and they join them. Good night, boys. I had a lot of fun today. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. He doesn't sleep, he just stares at the ceiling listening to Jonah's dad snore, counting down the hours till morning. Worst sleepover ever, and he never went back. 12 weeks, 1 chicken, and nobody found out. This happened at a farming boarding school, which, first of all, I had no idea a farming boarding school existed, but they do. One weekend, this student goes into town and comes back with a live chicken. A full-grown, living, squawking chicken. No one knows why, nobody asks questions. All they know is that that chicken lives in his dorm now. He feeds it scraps, he names him Henry. You're such a good boy, Henry. No, you're a good boy. Stop. This went on for 12 weeks. 12 weeks of clucks, feathers, and somehow total secrecy from the authorities. No staff ever caught him, and the people living on the floor didn't say anything. Eventually, he let that chicken go back on a local farm. He was sad, but he planned to visit it. So 2 months after he dropped it off, he stopped by. Hey, I'm here to see Henry. Oh yeah, Henry! He died. The coyote ate him last night. Gnarly scene. What? His carcass is out back. You want to see it? No! Rest in peace, Henry. There's always that one kid in school that would do anything. Not for money or clout, just because. Well, at this school, there was one kid, and he would do whatever anyone dared him to do. Slap a kid with a piece of pizza? Alright. Take a dump in the urinal? I got you. Stand up on a lunch table in the middle of lunch and dump a chocolate milk on his head while he's screaming? He didn't just do it, he committed. People started testing him to see where the line was. I dare you to eat this ladybug, okay? I dare you to toss a spoonful of yogurt on the principal. That's easy. Yeah, there wasn't a line. He would do anything. But here's the weird part. In class, he was completely normal. Yo, what was the homework from yesterday? What was that small package he gave us? It's actually due tomorrow, but super easy. The last question is a trick question though, so be careful. But yeah, you guys should be fine. Let me know if you have any questions. Cool. Well, he didn't have any social media, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Snapchat. So after graduation, he disappeared. And nobody has seen him or heard from him ever since. This kid ran a genius hustle. So at this one school, if your phone ended up in the lost and found, it stayed there until the parents of that student picked it up. That was the rule. If they took your phone, you were not getting it back. Then this kid named Marcus starts a business. $10 and I'll get your phones back before 6th period. Bro, what? They're in the front office. Yeah, well, Marcus had an older cousin that worked in the front office. And every day during lunch, Marcus would go to the office to say hi to his cousin. And when he did that, his cousin would quietly hand him a phone wrapped in a napkin. Hey, what's up, cousin? Oh, hey, Marcus, hope you're having a good lunch. Here is your snack I brought you. Good man. and nobody noticed. He had a group chat, phone retrieval services. You would DM him what class you lost your phone in and what your phone case looked like. He even had tiers. $10 for standard pickups during lunch, $15 if you had to go to the office during class, it's a bit more risky, and $20 if you get caught again the next day. It became this underground thing. But here's the twist. Eventually the principal finds out about this. He made a deal. I won't punish you, but for this next week, every single time someone messages you to do this, give me their name. Fine. He became a freaking informant, and for that next week, he busted a lot of kids. Eventually, they found out that he had flipped and his business was completely washed. But still, I guess you gotta respect the hustle. Presentations are today? I'm screwed. Hey, come here. I got you. This kid had over 200 PowerPoints just sitting on a flash drive. Every single one of them he made for fun. But then he turned it into a genius business. This started around 8th grade. This kid named Liam, quiet kid, kept to himself. For some reason, this guy was obsessed with making PowerPoint presentations. The history of water slides, the rise and fall of AOL, why birds might be smarter than we think. Just anything. At first, everyone thought it was just his thing, like his little quirk, until one day someone forgets to do their presentation for a class. Kids in full panic mode. What's the presentation on? Invasive species. I've got one on killer bees. Does that work? That's perfect. Kid turns it in, changes the title slide, and boom, he gets a B. That works. And just like that, it begins. He starts selling them PowerPoints on every single topic. Historical events, weird science, fast food history, literally anything. $10 per presentation and $15 if you had to have him customize it a little bit. He called it the Vault. Some of them people bought didn't even make any sense for what they had to turn in, but it was still better than nothing. By the end of the year, he had made over $500 doing this, and he says he plans to keep on doing it because he just loves making PowerPoints and he doesn't see himself ever stopping. So the supply is endless. You gotta respect the hustle.
আসমানে চাঁদ লয়া এরকম বাসর ঘরে আহে তখন রাজা বাদশা গুলা হান
তুমি এই পোশাক কখনই চেঞ্জ করে আইবা নালে কইলাম আমি তোমার আমার লগে থাকতে দিব না আইসা আলগা খানদানি রেওয়াজ দেয়
তোমার কত বড় সাহস তুমি আমার মাথায় বাড়ি দিবা এই আমি কি করছি বাজান কি এইটা কাম করছে নি আপনার মতো হীরার টুকরা একটা পোলারে লাথি দিয়ে বাইর করে দিছে
দিমু একটা ঠুয়া আমি পারুম না এই বেটা এই আমগো খানদানে পূর্বপুরুষেরা
তো কি টিপে কল্লা
লাগলে হেরাও টিপা দিমু তুমি বরং আমার হাতটা ব্যথা করতেছে হাতটা টিপা দাও
আরে এখানে হান্দাবার লাগছস কে একটু ওদিকে নে না তোমার বিছানা আমি ভিজায়া দিছি গা
এটা তুমি কি করছো
কি করছি ঘুমাইবা না
তোমার পূর্বপুরুষের মাথায় কি সমস্যা ছিল আব্বা
আবার নাটকের পর কয় কি শুনছো ওই বেটা
আব্বা জান আপনার পোলারে এখন জিগান তো রুটি গরম না ঠান্ডা
বাপ রে বাপ শুনছো নি একেবারে ডর দেয় তো বলে কুচি কুচি করে কাটতো হইছে আপনার ডর আপনার পকেটে থুয়া দেন
খানদানটা আমার কত উচ্চা দেখতে হইব না
দেখতেছি তো উঁচা ভি আর লম্বা ভি
তোমার এই অবস্থা কেন
আসলে আব্বা ও আব্বা আব্বা
আইগাছি
আচ্ছা যা হবার হয়েছে বুঝছো সারাদিন যে ধকলটা গেছে গা মন্টু হ্যাঁ মন্টু হ্যাঁ মন্টু
আমি তো অনাথ হয়ে গেছি গে একেবারে মনে করে আমার বাপে আমারে
এটা কেমন বাট পারি হ্যাঁ তোমার আব্বা না খুব কান্দানি আমারে কইছিল কাশি খাওয়া
বাজান আরে বললা সকাল সকাল তুমি আয়া পড়ছো চিল্লা কেমতে
কি হয়েছে হ্যাঁ আর থেকে অনেক পর দেখে দেখতেছি ফোনের পিছে লাগা রইছো
শুনবাজান তোরা আর একটা বুদ্ধি দিতেছি।
কি হয়েছে আব্বা আবার কি?
আগে সব কথা হই না লই, তারপর তুই খালাসে যাবি। কব মা
গেটে দুটো বার করে দিচ্ছিলাম।
ল তোর গাড়টি বুঝ ল। সারা জিন্দেগি আমগো খানদানের সত্ত্বে
মন্টু, হ্যাঁ মন্টু, হ্যাঁ মন্টু। আমি তো অনাথ হয়ে গেছি গে, একেবারে মনে করেন আমার বাপে আমারে। এটা কেমন বাট পারি? হ্যাঁ, তোমার আব্বা না খুব কান্দানি, আমারে কইছিল কাশি খাওয়া।
সকাল সকাল তুমি আয়া পড়ছো, চিল্লা কেমতে?
কি হয়েছে? হ্যাঁ, আর থেকে অনেক পর দেখে দেখতেছি ফোনের পিছে লাগা রইছো।
উনবাজান তোরা আর একটা বুদ্ধি দিতেছি।
কি হয়েছে আব্বা আবার কি?
তুমি যদি একটা মাস পরে আইতা তাহলে দেখতা আমার আব্বাই আনাম খাসিটা পাকে তোমার সামনে রেখা দিত।
খানদান নাকি? খানদান গো চিনা লাগে নাকি? চোখ বন্ধ করে হারবার পাচ্ছি, আয়া পড়ছি।
দরকার আছে, দরকার স্যার। আমি কি ফোনে কথা কই নাকি? এই এটা খায় কি করতেছো? যাও না, নিচে যাও। কি হয়েছে বাজার?
কি হয়েছে? এই সব আমি পারুম না, আমার দরকার হলে ঘর।
আচ্ছা, যা হবার হয়েছে বুঝছো।
সারাদিন যে ধকলটা গেছে গা, নিচে ঘুমা।
আজ নামনের বাসুর ভাই আপনি
আপনার ঘরে
তুমি তো আমার পিলার চমকাই দিচ্ছ বাবা।
কি যে কন্যা আব্বা, মাত্র তো আসমানের চাঁদ লাগা।
কিন্তু তুমি তো বিয়ার পর দিনই আইয়া হাজির। তো রসুনটা একটু চেঞ্জ হয়েছে আর কি।